से ये सुनो कि परमेश्वर ने अपना विराट रूप प्रकट करने के बाद किस तरह से अपने को देवताओं के विविध रूपों में विलग किया। तो श्लोक संख्या 11 से लेकर 33 तक जो हम कल चर्चा कर चुके, ये जो है श्री मैत्री मुनि ने वर्णन किया है। और आज जो है, क्योंकि आप सब जानते हैं कि हमारा ये क्लास प्रवचन का क्लास नहीं है, ये शिक्षण का क्लास है। यहाँ पे हम जो है संवीक्षण करके श्रीमद् भागवतम को पढ़ रहे हैं, संवीक्षण करके प्रभुपाद जी के तात्पर्यों को पढ़ रहे हैं और उनको समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। नहीं तो हमें कोई क्षमता नहीं है श्रीमद् भागवतम का चर्चा या वर्णन कर। हम सिर्फ कोशिश करते हैं और आगे हम देखते हैं इसके बाद में भी श्री मैत्री मुनि कहते हैं कि मैं समर्थ नहीं हूँ, मुझ में योग्यता नहीं है कि मैं भगवान की इतने सुंदर कार्यकलाप, भगवान की लीलाएं, भगवान की कथा को वर्णन कर सकूं। ये तो भगवान की कृपा ही है कि थोड़ा बहुत जो हम समझते हैं उनको करने की जो है कोशिश करते हैं, क्योंकि भगवान की महिमा विशाल है, भगवान अनंत है, गुण अनंत है, नहीं समझ सकते। इसीलिए हमने देखा कि किस प्रकार से देवता जो है भगवान प्रार्थना और भगवान से प्रार्थना करके ये जो है वे अपना संभाल रहे हैं और उनको स्वयं विराट रूप के सुंदर रूप से जो है, जो यहाँ पे वर्णन किया गया है कि उनका जो है इस प्रकार से उनको अनेक अनेक कार्य दिए गए हैं। और मैं बहुत ही खुश हूँ कि आप लोग जो है बहुत ही आगे जो काफी टेक्निकल है, समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और हमारे बीच ललिता माता जी जो है, उन्होंने आज जो है हमारे इस शिक्षण को और भी इंटरेस्टिंग करने के लिए, इस शिक्षण को हमारे मन में अच्छी तरह से स्थित हो जाए या स्थित होने का हमें ये सहारा मिले, उन्होंने एक सुंदर प्रेजेंटेशन जो है तैयार किया है। और ललिता माता जी जो है आज जो है इस प्रेजेंटेशन को प्रेजेंट करेगी और आज का ये क्लास जो है इस प्रेजेंटेशन को हम स्मरण करेंगे। शिक्षण का मतलब क्या है? सिंह अवरोहण, आरोहण मतलब पीछे देखना, जैसे कि एक सिंह चलता है वो पीछे देखता है, आगे चलता है, पीछे देखता है, आगे चलता है। तो इसी प्रकार से हमारा शिक्षण भी ऐसा ही होना चाहिए कि जैसे जैसे हम आगे चल रहे हैं हम पीछे देखते जाएं और उनका जो है अवलोकन करें। तो मैं निवेदन करूंगी ललिता माता जी को कि वे अपना प्रेजेंटेशन हमारे सामने प्रस्तुत करें भक्तों के आनंद के लिए, भगवान की आनंद के लिए हमारा जीवन जो है, हमें भगवान का स्मरण, ये ऐसा नहीं है कि हाँ भागवतम पढ़ लिया, हम तो पढ़ते हैं, पढ़ लिया हमने, जानते हैं, ठीक है, लेकिन उनको बार बार नित्यम सतत करते रहना चाहिए कि भागवतम, भगवान जो है, भगवान भागवतम में उपस्थित है। इस कलयुग में भगवान जो अवतारित है इस भागवतम के रूप में, हमारे लिए ये भागवतम उन्होंने छोड़ दिया। तो हमारा समय जितना भी हो सके, क्लास के बाद भी दिन में हमें उनका जो भी सिखाया जाता है, जो भी हम चर्चा करते हैं, उसको हमें स्मरण करते रहना चाहिए, पढ़ना चाहिए। जब भी अगर समय है ये उसका जो है उपयोग करना चाहिए। और ललिता माता जी ने हमें दिखाया है किस प्रकार से समय है, इसको किस प्रकार से उपयोग किए। So Lalita Mataji, are you ready for the presentation?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
I would request. Yes. No, I would request Dayalu Prabhu to start the thing. So I have a problem with my internet here. It keeps coming and going. So I didn't want to take a risk.
Okay, fine. You can, if you like, you can put your video off, because anyway, we'll be seeing the screen. That will help to be able to keep your internet stable.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay,
thank you, Mataji.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I hope you all can hear me.
Yes, yes, very clear.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Before I begin the presentation, I offer my humble obeisance to Srila Prabhupada, to Gurudev, and to Krishna Mataji. And many, many thanks to Mataji for all the guidance and inputs that you have given for this presentation and for the opportunity to do the presentation once again. Okay, we start with manifestations of the demigods and their functions. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, next. Next slide. Okay. When the 23 principal elements were set in action by the will of the Supreme, the gigantic universal form, or the Vishwarupa or Virat Rupa of the body of the Lord came into existence. Now, here the Virat Rupa is being described. Okay, it is manifested by the supreme will of the Lord after the ingredients of the material creation. It is therefore a material manifestation of the Lord. The Virat Rupa is not eternal; it is temporary. And why does the Lord exhibit this Virat Rupa? He did it to convince the impersonalist that he is the original personality of the Lord. Next. Okay, 1 minute. Mataji, I think the wrong presentation has gone to Dayalu Prabhu. Okay, let me go ahead with this. The Supreme.
You had mentioned something, maybe you're not able to see it, but in the bottom you had mentioned.
Yeah, no, I had slightly changed it so that it's easier for them to understand. Never mind, I will explain. No problem.
3 and 10 you have not mentioned in this
I did. That also changes into 3 different divisions, no? So I had mentioned that as a separate slide. That's all right, because that will be easier for them to understand. No problem, Mataji. I will explain it.
Okay.
Prabhu, go back to the same slide. One minute, huh? Just hold on. Let me open the other one. Okay. Then the gigantic universal form is represented by 1, 3, 10. That is, he's a Paramatma, he's a body, mind and senses, and he's a 10 kinds of energy. Right? Now here, I need to explain this a little bit. There are 8 different inferior energies, which is comprising of the 5 gross elements: air, water, fire, earth, and ether, along with mind, intelligence, and false ego. And then we have the living entities who utilizes these inferior energies. They are actually originally the superior energy of the internal potency of the Lord. That is the Antaranta Shakti. These 8 inferior energies work very closely and grossly and subtly, while the superior energy works as a generating force. The movement of the body is generated from the heart, and all the activities of the body is only possible when the senses are powered by 10 different kinds of air within our body. And these are prana, apana, samana, udana, vijana, naga air, tirtara, kurma, devadatta, and dhananjay. So these are the 10 different kinds of air within our body, which actually facilitates the movement of the body or the activities of the body. Now, all these air are generated from where? From the heart, which is only one. So now you understand what is one. So one is the Paramatma who is seated in the center of the heart with the soul of the body, and the soul who acts under the guidance of the Lord. So there are 8 inferior, and that explains 1, 3, and 10. 1 is the Paramatma, from where the superior energy is located in the center of the heart with the soul, and the soul takes the guidance from the Paramatma. And the 3 is the body, senses, and mind, which is explained as the superior energy of the internal potency. And the 8 inferior energies are the 5 gross elements plus mind, intelligence, and false ego. Now, next slide, please. The Supreme Lord then separated himself into the diverse forms of demigods after the manifestation of the gigantic universal form. Before I get into that, I need to explain that the soul is manifested in the form of consciousness or Jnana Shakti. In other words, consciousness is a symptom of the soul. Activity of the consciousness is performed through the 10 kinds of air in the body. And consciousness is actually divided into 3 divisions. The first one being 3 divisions of self-identification. And the 3 divisions are Adhyatmika, Adibhautik, and Adidaivic. What is Adhyatmika? Is the self-identification with the body and mind. Adibhautik is self-identification of with the material product, and Adidaivic, which is the most important and the superior one, is where we identify as the servant of the Lord. So from here, the Supreme Lord then separated himself into diverse forms of demigods after the manifestation of the gigantic universal form. Next slide. The demigods, who are they? So we need to understand who are the demigods. They are the expanded parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. They are embodied with eternal time, eternal energy, and only partial consciousness of the Supreme. They are entrusted leaders of the conditioned souls. They are also, among the conditioned souls, they are the ones who have developed pure consciousness, and therefore they are elevated to the level of demigods. And they have been entrusted by the Lord to create species of living entities according to their past deeds. So therefore, we cannot condemn them. We have to respect them because they are the confidential servitors of the Lord. Next slide. Next slide. Now, the manifestation of the demigods takes place in 3 levels. Okay, one is the Adhyatma, Adideva, and Adibhuta. Now, what is Adhyatma? It is a gross sense organs, which is both Jnanendriya and Tanmendriya. So, each of these parts, organs, manifest from the body of the Lord. And then the Adideva, which is the controlling deity, they enter into it and then occupy certain positions, and then they provide the objects of senses or the facility to the living entities to taste, to touch, and so on and so forth. So now we will go through the different levels of manifestation of the different organs from the Virat Rupa. Next slide, please. Adhyatma. Now, the mouth, when it's separated, Agni appears from it, and all the directors of the material affairs enter. And the controlling deity is Agni. And what does Agni provide? The power of speaking. It allows the living entity to express himself in words. So you have the mouth, which is coming from the Virat Rupa, separated from the Virat Rupa. Agni, which is the controlling deity, again separates from the mouth and provides the object of senses, which is the power of speaking. Next slide, please. Then, if you open your mouth, we all have a palate in our mouth. This palate separates from the mouth, and the director of air, which is the Varun Dev, he enters into the palate and creates the planetary system. The living entities are then given the facility to taste everything through the organ of tongue. So the palate comes from the mouth. The director of air, which is the controlling deity, Varun Dev, provides the facility of taste to the living entity. Next slide, please. Then comes the nostrils. They are separately manifested themselves from the Virat Roop. Ashwini Kumar, they are the controlling deities. They enter into them and acquire the proper position and provides the living entities the facility of smell, or the object of senses smell, and it gives you, allows you to experience the aroma of everything. Next slide, please. The two eyes, again, separately manifested from the Virat body of the Lord. Director of light, sun, entered into them. Here, the controlling deity is Surya Deva. And he entered into it with only partial representation of sight. So what is the living entity get? They got the vision of form. So form is what they were given a vision of. Next slide, please. Skin. Skin separately manifested from the Virat Rupa. And deity Anila. Deity Anila is the other word, or the other name is Vayudeva. Directing the wind entered with partial touch. And here they were provided the sense of touch. Living entities could realize the tactile knowledge or touch. So so you have skin, you have Vayudeva, and you have touch. The next slide, please. Ears. Ears separately manifested again from the Virat Rupa, and the controlling deities of direction entered into them with the hearing principle. Now, this particular thing I have taken it from one of the ISKCON truth revelation, where there are 8 directions: the northeast, east, southwest, southeast, southwest, west, and northwest. So, and for each of them, there are controlling deities. For example, Kuvera is for the north, Ishana is for the northeast, Indra is for the east, Agni is for the southwest, and so on and so forth. So, the controlling deities of direction enter into them with the hearing. So, we get the sense of hearing, the power of hearing, and we can take the advantage of the sound, because it is through the air that we get the facility of sound. Next one, please. Skin. Skin separately manifested from the Virat Rupa, and the controlling deity of sensation and their different parts entered onto it. Aushadhya is the controlling deity of the hairs on the body. And I also understand for the sensation or for the touch, it is again the deity of the wind. Okay? The living entities therefore feel 2 types of experiences, 2 kinds of touch, which is the itching and the happiness. And both are facilitated by the sense of touch. Next, please. Genitals. Genitals came also separated from the Virat Rupa, and Prajapati entered into them with his partial semen. Prajapati is nobody but Brahma himself, because he is a first creator of the universe after the Lord. So Brahma is the one who enters into the genitals with a little bit of semen and creates, gives the living entities the experience of sex pleasure. Next, please. The evacuating channel became separately manifested. And here, director Mitra. The other name for Mitra is Suryadev. So controlling deity here is Suryadev. And he enters with partial organs of evacuation, not all of them. So living entities were able to pass the stool and the urine. So here they're talking about the anus and the vagina and the urethra. So next, please. When the hands separated from the Virat body, the ruler of the heavenly body, that is Indra, entered into them. And what did he provide? He gave the facility to the living entities to transact business for their livelihood. Next, please. Then comes the legs. When they separately manifested from the Virat body, demigod Vishnu entered with partial movement and provided us the facility of movement to move from one place to another, from one destination to another. Next, please. Then comes the intelligence, which also manifested separately. And who enters into it? Brahma, the Lord of Vedas. And he gives you the experience of understanding the object of, gives us the living entity experience the object of understanding. Next, please. Then comes the heart. part also manifested separately from the Virat Rupa, and Chandradev, who is the moon dev, entered with partial mental activity. We all know that Chandra, the moon, is always associated with the mind. So the living entity could conduct his mental speculation. So that was a facility given by Chandradev. Then comes the next please. The materialistic ego separately manifested, and who came into it? The controlling deity was Rudra. And he also entered into it with partial activity. So the living entities was given the facility to transact his objective actions. So please note that every single word that I have used is from the chapter 6. So I have not twisted or this thing. So everything, if you refer to the text number, you will get it as is where it is. So next slide, please. The last thing to separate itself from the Virat Rupa is the consciousness. And here the Mahatattva entered with his conscious part. Controlling deity is total energy, that is Karanodakshai, Vishnu. Living entity was able to conceive specific knowledge. So with this we come to the end of the manifestation or the separation of different parts or organs of the body from the Virat Rupa to the next level, which is how the manifestation of the planetary system. Prabhu, next slide, please. Yeah. Now here, from the head, again there are 3 levels of manifestation here. From the head appears the heavenly planet, the mode of goodness. The people who are in the mode of goodness were promoted to the heavenly bodies. Now, the heavenly bodies are from Suvaloka, Mahaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. Okay. Now, people who had developed the mode of goodness were promoted to the heavenly bodies, the bodies which I stated now, and they are the demigods and the devtas. Now, second is the legs. From the legs appeared the earthly planets. Now, the earthly planet here is the Bhuloka, which is our planet, where the people who have developed, living entities who have developed the mode of passion, they are existing in this Bhuloka, and all of us, the human beings, exist in this Bhuloka. The third manifestation is from the abdomen of the Lord, which is sky, and this, which is the Bhuloka, which exists between the head and the earthly planets. And below that, we have below that we have the lower planets, which is where the people who have developed the mode of ignorance, they are promoted to the society of animals and ghosts. So head is heavenly planet, mode of goodness, demigod. Leg is the Bhuloka, earthly planet, mode of passion, human beings. And abdomen, and the lower planet is the mode of ignorance and animals and society of animals and ghosts. And from here we move on. The next manifestation from the Virat Rupa is the Varna. Next slide, please. So yes, yesterday we had touched upon the last of the ones about the Shudra. Now we go through each one of them. Brahmins, the mouth of the Virat, from the mouth of the Virat Rupa came the Brahmins, and the function allotted to them was Vedic wisdom and to disseminate Vedic wisdom to the rest of the world. And in the earlier days, all these Brahmanas were the advisors to the old royal dynasties. And then comes the second, which is the arms of the Virat Rupa. The Kshatriyas come from the arms of the Virat Rupa, and the they were given the function of protecting every living entity, whether it is human being, whether it is animals, plants, anything that was. So it was their duty to protect all the living entities. The third is the ties which came from the Virat Rupa. From that came the Vaishyas, who were assigned the task of producing grains and distributing them. The last was the legs of the Virat Rupa, from where Shudras appeared, and their task was to serve all the others. So service was their function. But as Prabhupada mentioned in this all his purpose, that today there is no clear classification of the Varnas. Everybody is a Shudra. Nobody can become a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya without having the qualities. You cannot just become any of them by birth. So we need to have the qualities to become this. Therefore, he said that in today's world, everybody is a Shudra. Because everyone is serving somebody or the other. Next slide, please. And therefore, we come to the last slide, which is actually text number 39. We haven't reached there, but it actually encapsulates, captures what the Lord is trying to say, that the wonderful potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so bewildering even to the jugglers that the potential part is even unknown to the self-sufficient Lord. So it is certainly unknown to others. So what to say of us human beings with our tiny brains? How can we? I can't imagine whether we can understand the Lord fully. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.